Tonight, find out why local celebrities are decorating empty ceramic bowls.
Plus, free tours at the Rosa Parks Museum in Montgomery. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News. Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News for February 1st, 2012. I'm Tiffany Lester.
And I'm Courtney Steele. Thank you for joining us this evening. What do empty bowls and some local celebrities have in common? Well, they are both being used to help benefit the Pike County Salvation Army's food bank. The Pike County Salvation Army is getting ready to play host to its third Empty Bowls Luncheon, which will benefit its food bank. But before the luncheon, they will first need some empty bowls. Wednesday morning, some local celebrities came in to help out with the upcoming event by decorating those bowls.
Since these are our celebrity bowls, we'll have these on bid sheets. But we also have bowls out. When you buy a ticket, you get to come in and hand pick your bowl, and you get your choice of soup, bread, dessert, and tea with that. And all the proceeds go toward our food bank, which is on site here at the Salvation Army.
Some of the local celebrities included First Lady of Alabama, Diane Bentley, First Lady of Troy University, Janice Hawkins, Mayor Jimmy Lunsford, as well as Coach Larry Blakeney. And although they did not consider themselves to be celebrities, they were eager to help out with the cause.
Well, any way I can use my position to help others is my goal, and I think this is a very nice cause to raise money for the food bank, and it was something different, something fun to do. We do a lot of things that are the same thing, but I've never painted a ceramic bowl before, and I can't say it was that good, but it was fun to do.
Troy University art students served as mentors to the artists, and as Larry Percy, the Associate Professor of Art and Design, said, he is proud that he and his students are a part of something that feeds those in need in this community.
I love the fact that I'm involving my students in it's not just an assignment of them making bowls. They fully realize that they are going to be making a bowl that will address a social problem.
The Empty Bowls Luncheon will be February 24th from 11 to 2 at the Bush Memorial Baptist Church. Tickets are $20. If you need more information, you can call 808-1069.
Today is the first day of Black History Month, and later this week the public will get a chance to immerse themselves in Black history, courtesy of Troy University. This Friday, in celebration of Rosa Parks' birthday, Troy University's Rosa Parks Library and Museum on the Montgomery campus will be offering free tours of both the museum and the children's wing all day. In addition, from 8 a.m. to noon, visitors will have the opportunity to participate in a special art activity commemorating the birthday of Parks. The Rosa Parks Museum and Library is located at the corner of Montgomery and Moulton Streets in Montgomery. If you would like any additional information on events at the museum, you can contact Curator Viola Moten at 334-241-8701.
The Student Government Association's main goal is to improve student life, and this week the SGA discussed something that can improve student safety. Justin Garner has more.
Tuesday night, Troy University's Student Government Association held their weekly meeting in Howe Hall. One of SGA's main duties is to improve student safety on campus, and this week a senator pointed out something that the administration has overlooked, and it's right behind the newly constructed dining hall.
It was just brought up in our executive meeting tonight by one of the other committee chair, and she just mentioned that she had just parked her car here tonight and noticed that the parking lot doesn't actually have lights. I think all of the lights are just on the outside of the building, and so she just brought that to my committee's attention.
The only lighting in the parking lot behind Howell Hall are headlights. Many students and dining hall staff coming and going were left in the dark. In the past, the lighting of this parking lot might not have affected student safety, but now that the parking lot is directly behind the new Trojan dining facility, student safety could be at risk.
It's a very popular area for students to be walking back and forth, and so we just want to make sure that they are safe when they're doing so.
Although it is a big concern to the Student Government Association, the lights cannot simply appear in this parking lot overnight.
At this point, we're going to just write a resolution, which is something that the SGA kind of does to say, hey, we think there's a problem with this, and take it to the right people so that it can be addressed. So we'll be looking to have that finished by next week and just get the ball rolling as fast as we can.
Judson Garner, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And again, we will have more on this developments later next week.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. School officials say they're investigating after a student was accused of hacking into a Decatur High School City Schools data file that contained personal information of current and former students. Technology Director Kathy Raines says the student apparently breached the file while looking for teacher usernames and passwords so he could bypass school system filters to look at blocked websites.
Court records show that one of the defendants in Alabama's gambling corruption case filed for bankruptcy 4 days before he died. Ray Crosby filed for bankruptcy Wednesday in Montgomery. He was found dead in the bed of his Montgomery home late Sunday afternoon. Court records show he had liabilities totaling $618,000.
Tuscumbia police chief will remain on the job despite being sentenced on a charge of driving under the influence. Mayor Bill Shoemaker says that the city will take no action against Police Chief Tony Logan. Shoemaker says there's nothing the city can do until Logan's appeal is resolved.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, today was National Signing Day and the newest crop of Trojan football players was announced. Daniel Purcell will begin with the details later in sports.
But first, Mitt Romney won the Florida primary and is now looking to take Minnesota and Nevada as well. We'll have that story and more when we return.
Mitt Romney takes his momentum west and has to explain an apparent misstatement about the poor. I'm Randall Pinkston at the White House. I'll have that story.
Oh, this isn't good. I was a gift from him to her. I'm going to the animal shelter, which isn't necessarily bad. I just hate the stigma associated with shelter pets. People will think I bite or that I spray everywhere. They're the ones with problems. I'm totally fine. Adopt me, you'll see. I'm gonna go pack.
I can't even believe you. And she has a mustache.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Tiffany Lester at the Global News Desk. Tiffany?
Thanks, Courtney. Mitt Romney is back on top in the race for the GOP nomination, and he's carrying the momentum from his Florida primary win as he campaigns in Minnesota and Nevada. But Newt Gingrich is fighting hard to knock down Romney's lead. Randall Pinkston reports from the White House.
Mitt Romney took the stage in Minnesota and made light of a protester who showered him with glitter.
I'm happy for a little celebration. This is confetti. We just won Florida.
The former Massachusetts governor had one hiccup after his big victory.
No.
Having to explain an interview where he said he wasn't concerned about the very poor.
Of course, I'm concerned about all Americans, poor, wealthy, middle class, but the focus of my effort will be on middle-income families who I think have been most hurt by the Obama economy.
Romney left Florida with momentum and lots of cash. Newt Gingrich finished 14 points behind, but says he's not backing down.
There is a chance to nominate a conservative who knows what he's doing, who has done it before, and who has the courage and the determination to get it done.
In the states holding the next fundraisers and caucuses, Gingrich is way behind in fundraising and in organizing volunteers and staffers on the ground. The former House Speaker is fighting hard to convince voters it's a two-man race for the Republican nomination. Romney's strategy is the opposite, calling it a four-candidate contest, with Congressman Ron Paul and former Senator Rick Santorum still in the mix. A super PAC supporting Santorum is ready to launch a new TV ad in Missouri aimed at convincing voters he is the best conservative challenger to President Obama. Ron Paul has a strong ground game in Nevada He skipped Florida to focus on building support in caucus states. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
U.S. forces have a difficult mission in Afghanistan, and it's made even harder when Afghanis who are thought to be friendly turn on Americans. Another incident happened just today when an Afghan soldier shot and killed a NATO service member. As Manuel Gallegos reports, lawmakers called military officials to Capitol Hill, asking them to do more to protect our troops.
2 American soldiers in Kandahar province were the victims of what the military calls an insider attack. An Afghani man hired to protect Rudy Acosta and Donald Mickler shot them dead.
Our troops are in Afghanistan to protect the Afghan people and to protect their government. To be turned on by the very people they're fighting with and for undermines the entire operation and places our troops at an unacceptable level of risk.
The Defense Department says the number of these attacks on U.S. and coalition forces is rising, more than 40 in the last 5 years, killing 70 and wounding more than 100. Military officials told the House Armed Services Committee that the Afghans often attack for personal reasons.
One of them just simple insults. Another one is combat stress that the individuals are under, cultural misunderstandings, religious and ideological frictions.
In other cases, they are insurgents who infiltrate Afghan security forces. Defense officials say they're improving the screening process to reduce threats, but admit there is no way to eliminate them.
This is a thinking enemy that we're dealing with here, a cunning enemy who wants to hurt us. And every now and then, the enemy's going to have some success.
The military is also stepping up cultural and language training for American troops to reduce friction that can lead to violence. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News.
The California school teacher accused of taking bizarre photos of his students was in court today. His arraignment was delayed, but the judge did rule to significantly increase bail. Edward Lawrence has the latest from Los Angeles.
Bail is now set at $23 million for Mark Berndt, $1 million for each of his alleged victims. The former Los Angeles elementary school teacher is accused of committing lewd acts against nearly 24 children. Berndt simply said, "Yes, I do," when asked if he understood the charges he faces. The 61-year-old did not enter a plea. Police say the longtime third-grade teacher at Miramonte Elementary School blindfolded students, taped their mouths shut, and put live cockroaches on their face. He also allegedly fed them bodily fluids with a spoon. Investigators say he told his victims they were playing a game.
All of the allegations are that the events happened at the school, in the classroom.
Police say the crimes date back to 2005, and the alleged victims range in age from 7 to 10. None reported what was happening. Police launched the investigation a year ago after an employee at a photo shop alerted authorities to questionable pictures. The school fired Berndt last year when they found out about the images.
It's an outrage for something like this to go on in our schools undetected.
Police kept Berndt under surveillance and uncovered more than 400 pictures that helped them build their case. Officers arrested him at his home Monday. Investigators are trying to identify 10 more children in the photographs and say there could be more victims. Edward Lawrence, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including how you can own a piece of Facebook, you can tune into Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Tiffany. And now Danielle Percival joins us with a little bit of sports. So Danielle, I know the football season is over. However, it's never too early to start looking at the next season.
Well, that's right. Football's always a hot topic, always the talk of the town. So let's get right into signing day.
Okay.
Like I was saying, today is National Signing Day, and the Trojans announced their 2012 signing class. The team signed 23 players to national letters of intent, including 10 in-state players. Head coach Larry Blakeney says he's proud of this class and his staff.
Coaches have worked as hard as I believe they ever have in trying to put this class together. And it's like every class we've ever had. We won't know how good this class is till a year or two down the road. Some of them we'll maybe know by fall, but most of them we won't know how good they are, how good this class is cumulatively till they've been together and been here.
This year's signing class included 13 players on defense, including 6 defensive backs and 10 players on the offensive side of the ball. And while the chance to see the new Trojan football players is still months away, the chance to see some new faces on the softball diamond is just around the corner. The softball team begins their season next weekend in Louisiana, and they've got a lot of new players on this year's team who are ready to take the field.
For the first time in recent years, we do have quite a bit of depth. I gave out 2 lineups yesterday for like game 1 and game 2 in our first day of play, and we're going to give some different folks some opportunities because I feel like a lot of kids have earned the opportunity, and that's a good thing to have because you know you're going to have some injuries come along, and it's nice to know that if you have an injury or two that you do have some good players right there who are ready to step in, and hopefully the team won't miss a beat when those things happen.
The team will be in action February 10th in the Southeastern Louisiana Lion Classic in Hammond, Louisiana. And from looking ahead to what's going on right now, the men's basketball team will be back in action at home Thursday night. They'll be taking on Florida International, who is 5-15 overall and is 2-6 in the Sun Belt. Head coach Don Maestri knows his team needs to come out and have a good performance at home.
It's always important to play back at home. I mean, I just think you should play better at home. We haven't played as well at home against Florida Atlantic, and South Alabama also we didn't perform real well either one of those games. But I would hope we play a little bit better this time.
The men's team will hit the court following the women's game in Sartain Hall Thursday night. Tip-off for the game against FIU is scheduled for 7:30. The women's team will also be home Thursday night, also facing the FIU Golden Panthers. They're still looking for their first win on the home court. The Trojans will be facing Florida International for the first time this season, but head coach Mike Murphy says his team will be prepared.
February and having not played somebody is a little unusual, especially in conference play. But as I said before, it's a team we're very familiar with. We play them twice in the month of February. So we've been very competitive here at home, very close games, and we're looking forward to the same thing on Thursday.
Trojans and the Golden Panthers will tip off at 5:15 Thursday night for the first game of the men's and women's doubleheader. So Tiffany, Courtney, while we're in basketball season right now and everyone's excited about that, it's also exciting to see the new players that the football team will be bringing in, and best of luck to the men's and women's teams in action, and best of luck to the football team next year.
Exactly, and with those games being at home tomorrow, definitely hope we get some support out there.
That's right. Bring them home and win.
Exactly. Thank you, Danielle.
And still to come on Troy University is getting ready for its big 125th birthday. We'll find out what the school has planned for the celebration in today's Trojan Talk.
Plus, we finally saw some showers in the Troy area today. How much rain will we actually get, Derica?
Well, we may have a break, but an umbrella is not something you want to forget when leaving the house. I will let you know why next in weather.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the student.
It's a personal thing with the students. We feel like the students are our most important asset, our most important products.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first name basis. They stop by socially to talk to.
So we understand who our students are, and we're trying to help them be better in their areas of professional work.
My colleagues and I work together to create programs that our students need.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Troy University's official student newspaper, The Metropolitan, comes out every Thursday. To give us a look at what will be in tomorrow's edition of The Trop, here's Ed Bailey.
Good evening, Troy University. Here's what you can expect to see in this week's edition of The Trop. News will have the word on new members of Troy's administration. We'll also have the scoop on the details concerning the transformation of Old Saga into the Sound of the South's new home. The community section will have a community spotlight. Arts and Entertainment will have a look at the Frequency Vocal Jazz Concert and Symphony Band. And sports will have the report on the Trojan Hall during National Signing Day, as well as a special look at 3 former Trojans preparing for Super Sunday. And that's tomorrow's Trop Today. I'm Perspectives Editor Ed Bailey.
Now Derica James joins us with a look at weather.
So we've been seeing showers off and on all week. What should we be expecting for the rest of the week going into the weekend?
Well, Tiffany, you just need to expect more, but I can get to that later. First, let's look at our campus snapshot. As you can see, night has just about fallen on us. Should be a sunset coming through. But as you can see right now, outside is pretty much clear. As we go into current conditions, we see that the skies are overcast. Temperature coming in at 61 degrees. Dew point is at 61. Humidity is at 41%. Barometer is at 30.14 inches and falling, with winds coming from the south-southwest at 4 miles per hour. Today's statistics have 73, low of 55. There was 0.13 inches of rain, with sunrise was at 6:37 a.m. and there was the sunset started at 5:17 p.m. As we look at the temperatures from around the state, we see Huntsville coming in at 58, Birmingham at 61, Montgomery at 60, Troy at 60, Phoenix City at 59, Dalton at 63, and Mobile coming in at 63. As we look at current temperatures across the southeast, as you can see, most of the temperatures are mostly in the 60 range. Some places, as in Florida, are actually seeing 70-degree rain. But as we look over in Texas, we actually have Corpus Christi coming in at a high of 81. So it's mostly a warm day throughout the southeast. But as we go into the west, we can see they're seeing some 40-degree weather, but as you get closer to the Mexican border, you see the temperature starting to rise over in that area. But as you look at the current surface, we see that there's a cold front coming through on the west, but not much is happening with that cold front. It's not really going to affect their temperature much. But as you look, they have a high pressure system keeping it nice and dry over there right now. But as you look close into our area, you see that there's rain systems that are moving out of our area, our region. As you can see, we have a little bit still going on in our region right now. But as we look over the next 48 hours, we may be seeing another rain system coming through. A light rain system, about 0.5 to an inch of rain. And as we look at the whole U.S., most of the east may be seeing some rain systems, but also on the west, they may be seeing some icy conditions, some snow conditions. And as we look at the thunderstorm forecast for tonight, we can see that we actually, our region has a chance of seeing some thunderstorms, but none that should be severe. And as we go into Thursday, we can see that rain mostly clears out of Alabama, except for right in the south around the Mobile area. But as you can look at Friday, that rain may be coming back, probably about an inch of rain, nothing too heavy though. And as you look at Saturday, that's when the rain will pick up. About a mild shower will be coming through may be coming through on Saturday. And Sunday, we also may be seeing some more rain. So the weekend is really going to be packed with rain, so you might want to keep that umbrella on hand. And as we go into tonight's forecast, thunderstorms early in the evening, then around midnight, it should go cloudy. Some areas will have patchy fog with winds coming from the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour with a low of 56. Then as we go into tomorrow, it's going to be cloudy skies, but by the afternoon, it should be clear with winds coming from the north-northeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 73. And now as we look at our class outlook, you see that it's mostly going to be a cool day throughout with the highs getting to 73 for 3 p.m. So go for a jog, have fun. As we look at our 4-day forecast, you see most of the weekend is going to be not much but rain, but your highs will be in the 70s. So as you can see, Thursday is our only day that we may not be seeing any rain, but the rest of the weekend is going to be filled with rain showers. So hopefully that made the grass greener.
I hope so, as if it's been feeling warm outside for January, it's feeling like April showers all this week. So hopefully it'll just bring on the more spring temperatures, I guess.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.